CAM1 Television. I am Anyache Regina. Our top stories. The Association of Women Lawyers FIDA Cameroon organized a workshop to educate women and girls on gender-based violence. Those were our top stories. More of these in this edition of the newscast. Welcome back. You are watching the newscast on CAM1 Television. The Association of Women Lawyers FIDA Cameroon organized a workshop to educate the women and girls on gender-based violence today in Limbe. Let's get the reports.
Gender-based violence has been one of the most difficult situations to end in our society. So many women, girls, suffer from this violence in so many forms, for instance, economically, emotionally, and physically, which is one of the most common and the most practiced today in our society. Today, FIDA Cameroon, which comprises of female lawyers, organized a workshop which is taking place all over Southwest and Northwest region respectively to educate the woman, girl child on some forms of violence and the consequences. According to Barrister Atemkang Elizabeth, this project is to create awareness on ending violence on women and girls through creating peer mobilization.
Awareness raising on various ways of ending violence against women and girls through peer community mobilization. And this project basically we are carrying it in Limbe, in the Southwest region and the Northwest regions of Cameroon too. We are sure that they've been empowered to know all the available services, and we provided them with copies of the referral pathway that they can always at a glance know where to refer survivors who come to their knowledge.
She goes further to explain on how they can't talk about this and forget about the COVID-19 pandemic which has been plaguing the nation.
Eradicating violence against women, of course, is ongoing, and while we are doing it, we are also in the period of COVID-19 pandemic. We cannot really say that we are doing anything and then we completely forget about that. So we are doing it alongside with the project on that, and even the one on the referral part, we're trying to update it, is also part of that project. The issue of violence against women remains a pandemic, and we are asking everyone to come on board to assist us to ensure that we can make the world a safer place.
While a participant by name Eweli Sane says she is a lover of women.
Basically, I love things that have to do with women's empowerment, women's emancipation. So when I heard that it's a topic that has to do with violence against women, I took particular interest in it, and I wanted to hear what's new about it, about the topic.
So finally, what have you gathered that you can take back home as a message?
A lot of things, because usually I used to just have basic concept of what violence against women is all about, but today I took my knowledge a step further by knowing the various services that survivors and victims could access in terms of when they are being violated.
She further outlines the techniques in which a survivor could be saved from violence, while taking into consideration some principles like the principle of safety and confidence.
Basically, each situation is different, so I will not react or respond to each situation the same way. But then I learned a lot of new technicalities to handle specific cases. So first of all, I understand that you have to report when you find such a case, but then you have to understand that you will not report in such a way that endanger the survivor. So you take into consideration certain principles like principle of confidentiality, principle of safety, principle of determination. So there are a lot of principles I will take into consideration before making a step, but then the security and safety of the survivor is of utmost importance.
Nevertheless, we should also know that men are not left out when it comes to violence, but their cases are very few or rare and never spoken about.